everybody. My name is Mackenzie Overholser. Welcome to Lifeline Podcast, where I relate everyday circumstances with an everyday loving God. I would like to first come out and say that I am so sorry for being MIA for the past about a week and a half, going on 2 weeks, I'd say. There's been I work at the hospital, so there's been a lot of change of events recently, as you all know. I've had my world turned upside down, and it's been a little crazy, but for the grace of God, we're getting through it, and that's why I've been kind of MIA for a little bit on not just the podcast, but also my social media within the podcast, and not posting anything really within the page or my YouTube channel. And I would like to say I am so sorry about all that. But with my work, I have been reassigned to a whole different location within the hospital, so I had to learn like a whole different job. I've changed hours. I'm on like a whole different shift now, so my sleep schedule's been crazy, and I know these are all excuses for you guys, but I just wanted to fill you in on a little bit of what's been going on. So I am so sorry that I have been missing out on you guys. I am so sorry. So this week, I have a whole new podcast for you, and everyone knows about quarantining and everything that's going on. I don't want to focus on the virus at this point. I don't want to focus on the negative right now, so let's just focus on the positives, okay? And in the beginning, I know that it was probably hard for us to focus on the positives, but right now, I want us to focus on the blessings we have in our lives and the positivity in our lives. That's way better than focusing on the negative and the negative outcomes from this. So, with the blessings that I've been seeing that I didn't think were blessings at first, but have turned into awesome blessings, is when I got reassigned to a whole different location within the hospital, I didn't know what to expect. I didn't want to meet new people. I just didn't want to deal with this. It's like all this ball of stress of everything wrapped all up in one situation. And meeting all these new people within this new department, and then meeting other new people in other departments that I've had to work in due to having to float around a little bit. It has been a true huge blessing to be able to meet all these people. All these people are so fantastic and so amazing. They were so welcoming. They accepted me and my craziness with their arms open wide, and it has been a crazy, awesome new experience. I have made some awesome new friends out of this whole ordeal, and I cannot thank everyone enough for being so incredible over there at the hospital and just making these transitions so easy and so fluid. That is a huge blessing I've seen come out of this, is the friendships that I've made, that I've created now with new people, new friends, and then just getting to sit back and relax a little bit more and looking at what all God truly has blessed us in our lives with, all the way down to the little things of His creation outside. I can tell that the grass is getting longer, guys. Mowing season's coming. And just the little things that we maybe take for granted every day. Fellowship with each other, we take for granted because, we were so into our phones before, and now we have to be on our phones to stay connected. And frankly, sometimes I'm getting sick of it. I'd rather just sit at a coffee house with some people and just talk. I mean, I miss the laughs. I miss hearing the laughs and the hugs and the I miss yous and all that kind of stuff. So I miss it all, and I think that this is really showing me how important reality is. How important it is to get out of our phones and get out of the technology base and to really enjoy what God's giving us now and today. Because before all this, like I said, we were all, more so technology based, and technology can be a good thing. It really can be. Like right now, it is amazing because we're able to FaceTime, text, call, chat with people instead of writing them a letter and it gets there a week later. We can instantly talk to people. And that's kind of what we're going to be going into today, is more so the blessings and how to treat each other during these trying times and how to uplift each other in these days. So I know we've been seeing a lot of gloom and doom, I think, on TV due to news outlets or social media, due to sharing different cases of what's going on and updates about what's going on. And I'm not saying it's not okay to be informed and to know what's going on right now. Totally stay informed if you need to. And I'm not saying to chill out so much that you don't even take necessary precautions. please do still take necessary precautions so we can have a summer eventually. And I don't know about you guys, but I want to travel a little bit before fall or winter hits again. So let's just take the necessary precautions that we need to, and let's start looking around and enjoy the blessings that God gives us every day, and enjoy the uplifting spirits that He gives us every day, even in times of strife. So with all that being said, we are going to go to our first verse, and I'm going to be flipping. If you hear pages turning, it's just me flipping around looking for the Bible verses real quick. We're going to be in Galatians chapter 5, verse 22. Galatians chapter 5, verse 22. Alright, we're almost there. Okay. It says, and I'm reading out of the NIV, my commentary out of the NIV, and I'll read you a little bit of the commentary as well. But the fruit of the Spirit, if you guys know the fruit of the Spirit, it lists off what those are. And we're going to go into this fruit of the Spirit here a little bit. But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, forbearance, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. So instead of us talking about what we can't do during these times, or what we can't do because we can't leave our house, or we can't do because we can't go anywhere, let's talk about what we can do, and what God has given us the ability to do. If He lives in us, we can have love, joy, peace, forbearance, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. He gives us all of these traits through Him. And it says, I'm going to read you a little bit of the commentary. It says, as a result, we will fulfill the intended purpose of the law, to love God and our neighbors. Which of these qualities do you want the Spirit to produce in you? Which of these qualities would you want Him to produce in you, or to enhance a little more? You feel like you're lacking in one of those areas. So right now, guys, while everything's canceled and while we can't go out and do everything, none of this is canceled. Being kind to each other is not canceled. Going out of your way to make someone's day is not canceled. Like, we don't have to just sit here and go, well, since I can't go out anywhere and since I can't do anything, I just won't do anything. Let's get out there and still make people's day. Let's get out there and still show love, still show kindness, still show patience and self-control and gentleness while we're going through all of this craziness in this world. So, while we're reading through these Bible verses, I want you to listen to them, and I want you to challenge yourself of, okay, for like the next week, what can I do every day, something different or even the same thing? What can I do every day to help support some people, or help to show people that they're not alone, or to show kindness, or to show love or gentleness? How or what can I do to do that every day by being confined to my house, or by not being able to go out really anywhere or visit people? What can you do every day? And what I would love to see, if you guys would do it, is to comment on my Facebook page or my YouTube channel under this video. What are your ideas, or what have you been doing that we don't even know about, or that we haven't even thought about, and give others ideas of what they can do to help uplift people's spirits and to help uplift God into our daily lives, and just to see what you guys are doing. I mean, it could be, we could have a big old chat conversation down in the comments, so just please comment below if you've been doing something, or if you need ideas of what to do. Comment below, and then we can all chat it up, and we can actually give you ideas, or take your ideas and run with them. Like just recently, I think I put on my personal social media to have people message me and contact me if you want a phone call, or if you want a text, or whatever you would like for me to do. And I did get a couple people that have texted me and said, hey, yeah, I would love to chat it up a little bit, because there's so many people throughout this that think that they're so alone, and that they can't do anything, or that nobody wants to talk to them, and that nobody wants to reach out, or they're just saying that just because they can. I didn't post that on my social media page just to say it because I can and because it looks good. That's not why I did it. I did it because I know how lonely it can feel being confined somewhere, or being like you can't go out there, feeling like nobody wants to talk to you, or feeling like nobody wants to see you. Right now, we don't have a choice but not to see people. So I just wanted people to be out there knowing that they're not alone, and that we are all going through the same thing. We're all in the same boat. I don't care how much money you have. I don't care how much wealth you have, or how much of items you have, or how much of food you have in your household. I don't care about any of that, because no matter what, if you look at it right now, we are all in the same exact boat. No matter how you slice it or dice it, the rich, the poor, the in-between, doesn't matter. We are all in the same boat, and we are all trying to make it work. So I just wanted people to know that there are people out here that still reach out and still care, and just call people. I mean, if one thing that you can do is just call people. Call that person that you haven't seen in forever. They would love to hear your voice, or FaceTime somebody. They would love to see your face again. Text them, do whatever you can virtually to get in contact with them. And it was amazing because I got to talk to my grandma about, I think it was yesterday, we got to talk on the phone, and we talked on the phone, it felt like forever, that we got to finally chat it up and talk. And I apologized to her that I'd been trying to get used to my new shift at work, and she didn't know I was working seconds, and it was great to hear each other's voices again, and just to be able to reconnect. And she's missing us as much as we're missing her. It's crazy. But I do have to tell her, and I do have to tell everyone else, this distance doesn't mean that we don't love each other, that we don't love you. This distance means that we love you so much that we are trying to protect you. So during these trying times, I want us to be thinking about different blessings in our lives and how to reach out to each other. Okay? So, while we're still thinking about that, I'm going to go to Philippians chapter 2, verse 4. Alright. It says, Philippians chapter 2, verse 4, says, "Not looking to your own interests, but each of you to the interests of others." So during these times, we shouldn't be very selfish during these times and hoard everything, like hoard different supplies that people need, that need them desperately. We need to be thinking of other people's interests, like who needs what supplies, or checking in and being like, hey, is there anything I can get for you? Or checking in with our elderly population when they can't go to the store because they're at high risk. Check in with them and be like, hey, is there anything I can get you? I'm going to the store anyway, or I can go get something else, or can I help you, like try to see what I can do for you. And it's just incredible, some of the selfless people I have seen already, and it's just phenomenal to see everybody coming together, and it's so heartwarming. I can't even express how heartwarming this is. This past week we had, in the news, if you have to look at the news, I love seeing these in the news. Recently, we have been having prayer vigils everywhere. Have you guys noticed that? It's everywhere. Like at almost all your local hospitals, they've been having prayer vigils. And we had one here at Jay County at the prayer vigil at our hospital. And it was incredible to be able to be a part of that. All of the healthcare professionals, including myself, all went up to the top of the hospital, and we all got to be on the roof of the hospital and look out and see everybody who was supporting us. And we were just so overwhelmed with the amount of people that came out to support us. Personally, I didn't know if we would actually get the front of the hospital filled up in the parking lot. I didn't really think that many people would come, but there were so many people that came and supported us. The entire front of the parking lot was filled up, and so were the other practices off to our side of the hospital. Their parking lots were completely full too. And it was just so great to be able to see that many people are backing us, that many people came to support us, and to have preachers praying over the radio for us, and just to have that prayer vigil, just to see everybody out there in their smiling faces just supporting us, and their beautiful signs saying that we're praying for you and that we're praying for your strength and your safety. And it was just so heartwarming and so thoughtful from the bottom of my heart. Thank you, thank you, thank you to every person that came out and supported us. This world is coming together more than what we were before this pandemic. I hope you guys realize that. This world is waking up and seeing what we've been taking for granted and what we've been missing out in this life, because we're so worried about the other people next to us, try to keep up with them. Now that we're all in the same boat, same level playing field, people are getting knocked down, I think, a couple notches, and getting their eyes opened up to the newness of this, the new possibilities, because I don't think in my lifetime, we've never had any kind of circumstance like this. This is new to all of us. And just seeing the blessings that are coming out of this already is just incredible. We're seeing so much more prayer at the hospitals, and we're seeing all these vigils popping up everywhere, and it is just so good to be able to praise God and know that He is in control, and to know that He's got all of this under control. So, I'm going to read a little bit of the commentary at the very end of this. It says, Paul encourages us to guard against any selfishness, prejudice, or jealousy that might lead to dissension. Showing genuine interest in others is a positive step forward in maintaining unity among believers. Showing a positive interest, like a good, genuine interest in each other. Not just showing an interest because you feel like you have to, but actually showing an interest in them. Like if they tell you, oh, my favorite candy's M&M's or whatever, and you buy them a bag of M&M's, like, that's really, really taking a good, positive, genuine step forward in that relationship and maintaining this awesome relationship with all your believer friends, to just have that genuine friendship blooming. I mean, just be a genuine person and actually take interest in each other, to uplift each other and to know what we're all going through. And to just listen to each other is very effective. Now, we're going to go to Ephesians chapter 4, verse 29. Ephesians chapter 4, verse 29. Do not let any unwholesome talk come out of your mouths, but only what is helpful for building others up according to their needs, that it may benefit those who listen. So if we're constantly bashing each other during this whole thing, or we're constantly degrading each other and talking bad about each other, we need to uplift each other and not let horrible things come flying and spewing out of our mouths, because the only way to uplift each other is to talk good things, but only what is helpful for building others up according to their needs. Building others up according to their needs. Every person's needs is a little different, but we need to talk good to people. We need to speak life to those people. We need to be encouraging. We need to be selfless in these tragic times. We've got to start thinking about each other as a whole and not just as us as an individual. And then for our last Bible verse, it'll be in Hebrews chapter 13, verse 16. Hebrews chapter 13, verse 16. It says, and do not forget to do good and to share with others, for with such sacrifices God is pleased. I'm going to read that again, because I think it's pretty important. And do not forget to do good and to share with others, for with such sacrifices God is pleased. We can't forget to do good unto others. We can't forget that. And to share with others as well. To do good and to share. I think in desperate times like these, where I think supplies are getting back to normal after all the panicked shoppers have bought up things. I think things are starting to slowly get back to normal in stores where things are remaining stocked. But we still need to be thinking about how we can share and be good to each other. When you see a need, you don't look at it and go, well, what's good? What's this going to benefit me out of? Like I'm going to be out an X amount of items after I give this person this item. Like, what's in it for me? If we go into this world with that mindset constantly, what's in it for me? What do I get out of this? That's like a selfish mindset to have, going into anything, thinking, well, what's this to me? Like, what do I get out of it? That is a very selfish mindset to have and to possess. And I pray that God can open your eyes and to show you it's not about us. It's never about us. It's about Him and what we can do for Him and how we can help His kingdom in different ways without expecting anything in return. If we're just constantly expecting things in return, what does that make us? Who are we by doing that? Who are we to actually expect that? To just expect that? God wants us to do good things and to be unselfish and to share. And I think in these times, it is so important for us to be that way. It's so important. How do you want to be remembered when you come out on the other side of this pandemic? Someone who was selfish? Someone who hoarded supplies when someone else needed them desperately? Someone who just didn't care about that other person when they obviously saw a need and didn't even step up? Or do you want to come out on the other side of this and say, yeah, I gave that person, I helped that person, I put my hands out there to help them in every single way that I possibly could, whether it be emotionally, spiritually, physically, financially. You can go on and on and on. I don't care whichever way you can do it. If there's a way that you can do it, if you feel like you can't do anything financially, that's not the only way you can help somebody. You can help somebody emotionally and spiritually and just talk to them. That's where we come into this communication thing again, like I challenged you earlier, to figure out a way to communicate with somebody or to reach out to somebody when they need it. That's where all this comes into play. We all have these powers, these gift abilities that we just talked about earlier with the fruit of the Spirit, and that is love, joy, peace, forbearance, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. He has given us these powers and these abilities through Him to be able to use all these for Him in good. Not in selfishness. Not in, well, what's in it for me? These times do not call for us to be that way. Ever. What am I saying? There is no time to ever be that way. Ever. More so now than ever because of all this illness that's going on. He's calling for us to be unselfish and to step up and to speak out and to be like, hey, do you need a helping hand? Like, do you need someone to talk to? I'll talk to you. I will. Be that love. Be that shining light. Be that peace for somebody. Be that kindness. Be that calming voice for them when their anxiety is so high about all this. Be that person for them when they feel like there's no other light at the end of this tunnel. So, again, my challenge to you is, how are you going to be that person for somebody? Just because you feel like you can't be that way in one certain way, like an emotional way, because you feel emotional too about all this, or you can't help financially, or you can't help in other ways, there are other ways to help somebody. There are other routes to take. So for you to sit here and say, I can't do anything, that's not true. That is 100% not true. There are more ways now than ever to reach out to people and to help people and support each other and to figure out if there's anything we can do to help you. People need it now more than ever. More than ever. Due to all this. And me not being able to see people, it's getting old. I love to see people. I would love to be able to see my church family again. I'd love to be able to see my friends again, my best friends, and be able to talk to them. I would love to be able to go just sit somewhere and have a good cup of coffee and talk to somebody. I mean, I love that social interaction. And I'm missing it. I'm missing it due to all this. So, that's my challenge for you guys this week. Find somebody, find more than one person, find a different person every day, use the same routine, like use the same gift that you have or that you talk to someone else you got good ideas from. Just call somebody, text somebody, do something to reach out, to check on each other, to figure out what's going on, or to see if they need anything. They may just want someone to talk to. So I want you guys to do that for me this week. To be that light, to be that love, be that peace, be that security for them, and to tell them that God is there and He's got this all the way. Completely. Thank you so much, guys, for listening in to this week's podcast. I can't thank you enough for encouraging me and keep going and moving forward. Again, I am so sorry about missing last week's podcast. Things have been crazy, and I'm hoping things slow down and go back to normal rather sooner than later. So be sure to check out my YouTube channel, my Facebook page. Just search Lifeline Podcast. And then you can subscribe, like, comment, share, do all of it if you can. Tell people about it. Get the word out there about this podcast. And I cannot thank you guys enough for everything you do. To be able to listen, to be able to share it, like it. I am so grateful. And again, in the comments, be sure to tell me what you're doing to help all this situation. If you're calling people, if you're texting people, whatever you're doing, just be sure to comment it on my YouTube video or on my Facebook page underneath the video. Thank you again so much. You guys have a fantastic week. Make it awesome. Make it amazing. Make it something different than whatever we've been doing the previous weeks, okay? Thank you guys. You guys have a great week. Bye-bye.